Wholeness, everybody. Welcome to Rashida Silvertree. Welcome to my portal, my space, my place. Thank you so much for being here. I feel so happy and grateful for your engagement at this moment, and may this message find you well and whole. Today's subject will be about soulmates. Yes, soulmates. Everyone is your soulmate when you fall in love. This is my notebook, okay? This is where I write my notes and whatnot. So if you see me looking off to the side for reference. Everyone is your soulmate when you fall in love. And this video is for people who get caught up in the whole soulmate, twin flame thing. Like, I had a moment of that. Met someone back in 2011, and for about 8 years, I always felt this weird connection with this person, right? And here's the thing. I'm going to backtrack a little bit. So before soulmates, you have soul contracts. I stand firm on the belief of soul contracts, meaning when we manifest and we incarnate into this life, we come here for specific lessons, and within those lessons, you are learning or teaching or learning. And then our body expires and we leave this world. Okay, simple explanation. That's what a soul contract is. Soul contracts come in the form of relationships, all types, meaning your family, your friends, your complete strangers, acquaintances, marriages, divorces, your children, your bosses. Soul contracts come in soul contracts. You can have a soul contract with your house, your home. Like your childhood home you lived in until the age of 15. Oh, your parents divorced, so then that soul contract with that home and that location in the land is over, so you move on to the next space. You can have a soul contract with your business. You opened up a business 10, 20 years and it closes. You make that decision or it shuts down. You can have a soul contract with your health experiences, like you have a major accident that maims you permanently for the rest of your life, or you have an illness that you succumb to, unfortunately, or you have an illness that you make it out. You have a soul contract with your children, and like your miscarriages and the births of your baby, and or babies, right? These are all the teaching lesson paradigm. Okay? Now, my soul contracts I've had in my life, I've moved around. I can't even count how many times and how many places I've lived. I moved around so much. And sometimes out of instability. Most of the time I was stable. It was just a lot of it was circumstantial or contractual, meaning I literally was contract, okay, leasing agreements. But anyway, so soul contracts, let's talk about the relationships aspect. So you have soulmates, right? Which to me, I no longer use the mate anymore. It's just a soul contract you have with another person. And in the guise of romance and intimate relationships that you have with people, I see it always plays out this way, usually, where, oh, I'm in love. I've never felt this way before. And he'll say or she'll say, I'm in love with you. I've never felt this way before. We're soulmates. And then you get married, and then both of you activate the teaching, learning paradigm until you learned everything you needed to learn. You've taught everything that needed to be taught, and the relationship ends, or the soul contract evolves and expands beyond what was originally set, and it moves into a new space. All the karma has been cleared, and this is, I think, a beautiful thing. I always admire in some marriages, because monogamous marriages can go through this. They have the potential of expanding beyond the karmic teacher-student paradigm and expands beyond a whole new cycle, where then they continue to in this space of newness, right? And until the bodies expire, until one of them expires and they leave the world. That's how you have the, people married for 50, 60, 70 years. I met many of my patients, like this. And sometimes people will stay together when those soul contracts should be done, right? They stay in marriages, a decade too long, or 5 years too long, or a year too long. And they'll just because social construction, it says, until death do us part. And that's why that's another thing why I don't agree with patriarchal religious dogma in that sense, when it comes to monogamy, because if it's something unhealthy and it's breaking his spirit or your spirit, and it's not keeping the home together, and it's causing a lot of abuse and inviting a lot of darkness in the space, and no one's outgrowing it, no one's growing together anymore, it needs to dissolve. The lessons have been learned, right? Sometimes divorces and separations can activate the teaching, learning paradigm. And it can make a person grow, can force them to grow and to become a better person. I know I became a better person after a couple of really, bad breakups or separations. I know it made me a much better person. I know myself and understand myself better than ever before. After my first major heartbreak, I learned so much about myself, right? And I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for the other, but, be careful when you meet someone new and, you're madly in love and, and it's just a beautiful thing. Be careful when you realize what it is, okay? And the only way to save yourself from getting into these cyclical karmic relationships with people is give it time. Give it space to breathe. Allow your connections with other people, friendship or platonic or romantic. Allow space. Allow distance. Allow silence to kind of lead and guide and reveal things to you about the other and about yourself. When we meet, when you spend a lot of time by yourself, because my last partnership, we both agreed that we spent so much time alone. It was almost like you're the Buddha on top of the mountain. You feel, because no one else is in your space, and it feels nice. You're not coming home, you're not arguing with people, or that your person. You're not fighting with your person. You're not having to say, please forgive me, or I forgive you. You're not having to constantly work and collaborate. It's just you and yourself, which is equally very powerful, but it's equally just as powerful to do that with another person. With another person, it's almost like life kind of kicks your little Buddha butt down the mountain to humble you a bit. That happens in every relationship, meaning all your flaws and all that's unhealed inside you, it will now be pulled out. And then you start fighting or there's conflict. But that's part of the lesson, that's part of the teaching, is that you learn and you help each other heal. And then you're not so in love anymore, right? You're not so much in love anymore when you're pulling out what needs healing in the other person and they're pulling out what needs healing in you. But the magic happens when you both agree about this and you both are supportive of each other. But yeah, just be aware and stop romanticizing the whole soulmate twin flame thing. Oh yeah, my twin flame story. So I met this individual during my travels, and it was completely one-sided. In the twin flame paradigm, it's all about you're the there's a chaser and then there's a runner. So one's chasing the other person down, and then, the other person's running away, and it's like this authentic connection, and one's too scared to embrace your love, and the other one knows that the love is real and can't understand why the other person's running away, and they're chasing after it. And people will hook themselves to a whole another person for their entire lifetime, based off of this feeling and connection and knowing. If someone is meant for you, they will never pass you by. If a job is meant for you, it will never pass you by. If a lump sum of money is meant for you, it will never pass you by. If a business opportunity is meant for you, it will never pass you by. So it took about 8 years when I, decided to go move out west, live in the desert for a while, to realize the lesson and the connection I had with this person. And then it dawned on me. I was like, I get it now. Or like Dave Chappelle says, I get it now. I get it. It has nothing to do with romance or a hypothetical marriage and this wonderful dream life. It had something to do with myself on a deeper soul level. That's why it's called soul contract. Soul has nothing to do with just, romance and intimacy and spending your life with one person. I think that's it. Oh my God. Don't get me started. Anyway, I think it's a beautiful thing if someone can meet one person and then you're linked together for the rest of your days. That's beautiful. That's very beautiful. I bumped into that quite a lot at hospital with my patients, and one was down and out like just recently, married almost 60 years, and she was going through it. Okay, the patient was going through it. She was kind of in the middle of deep confusion, and he sat there in his little wheelchair. Okay, and he was like, I hope we make it. He was like, I said, how long you been married? 59 years. He looked at her. He was like, I hope we make it to 60 because she is just off the chain right now. Can't make it up. All the things I've seen, man. Oh, gosh. In the hospital. Please respect your doctors and nurses. They're human. They're human beings, okay? Because we see a lot. I don't drink. I will never drink again. I don't drink. But if I did, there's sometimes that I would if I did. But I don't because I love my liver. Anyway, back on subject. When you see what happened with like alcoholics and how their body breaks down when the body can't take any more of the abuse, it'll change your mind on a lot. Yeah, I've seen a lot. Dying people, okay? Liver failure, yeah. So soul contracts, soulmates, twin flames. Don't get caught up in it. I did. I'm like, he's my twin flame. Does he know? And a lot of the time they do know. They do know how much you care for them, how much you love them, and they like it. It's a little drug. It's fun for them. Because they're solid in their delusion and in their illusion, but they know you're not confident. You don't know who you are, and so they feed off of that, right? Until you begin to do the work and the inner work. At the end of for those of you who know, the twin flame thing with the whole deep spiritual connection. You dream of them, they dream of you. You finish each other's sentences, like, that's beautiful. That's great. Especially with the dream time. It's a little creepy sometimes. Like, wow, it's very like you feel like it's God led. Like God wants us to be together. Like, wow, I'm seeing all this. Don't get caught up. I'll have more discussions on dreams. I've noticed in the past couple of years, though, I haven't been dreaming as much, but I think there's a reason for that. And I think there may be a reason for that because I used to dream all the time. Premonitions, visions, all kinds of stuff. I used to have a dream journal. That's how much I would dream all the time. And then I let go of my dream journal because I wanted to focus more on being present, you know. But yeah, so soul contracts or soulmates and twin flames, be careful with that, because while you're chasing somebody, because you glued to them, you put your energy hooks in them, and I like it's so sad. I'll read some comments, not on here on my platform, but on other platforms. I remember in the past, several years ago, be like, we've known each other since we're 10 years old, and you know, I always knew, and we always knew, and it just doesn't work out. And now I'm the runner, and he's the chaser, and it's just like, and how old are you now? 50? You're 50 years old? You mean to tell me there was no one else in your life? The right person for you? You want the right person. You don't want a good person. You want the right person for you, because the right person for you will be good to you. I used to think, oh, well, a good person will be right for me. No, no, no. That's not how that works. Oh, he's a nice person. He'll be good for me. No, absolutely not. Oh, he's nice. You should check him out. No, you want the right person, and only you, God, and that other person will know. Not your mama, not your papa, not your brother, not your sister, not your friend, not your spirit guide. I'm playing. I'm just joking. But I'm serious. So, it is a very, make it God-led. Make the connection right. Compatibility is important. Are you spiritually compatible? Monetarily, are you compatible with the money? I don't care what anybody says. At 35, pushing 40, I'm telling you right now, it's not always about money, but you better have the same philosophy and the same monetary practice, because wealth and poverty can come at any time. Wealth and poverty can come and hit someone at any time. You can have everything you ever wanted and be as wealthy as you can ever, more than you could ever dream, and boom, it's gone, just like that. Kid you not. Or both y'all are eating off of a box, eating on the floor, and the box is your dinner table. I've been there. Okay? And boom, like that, all this money comes flooding in. How will your mate, I shouldn't use mate, how will your significant other handle that? The true character of a person comes out when they're incredibly wealthy, beyond anything that they can dream, and when they've hit rock bottom. That's when you really get to see what they're about and the truth of their character. So the right person has the right character. The right person has values and principles that they live and stand on. Integrity, meaning that they don't talk about it. Talk. They be about it. Okay? It's compatibility is very, 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 very important. All right? Attraction. Are you physically, are they health? I can go on about what would be the right person, right connection. But for those of you who are all about having a deeper monogamous connection with people, be very careful. Okay? Don't go down that rabbit hole of a promised partner that's you have to chase, or that's just not working out. Oh, he's the right person for me. It's just, he's here and I'm there, or he's just not ready. If he ain't ready for you. He's not meant for you. If you're not ready, you're not meant for him. People need to let other people live their lives. And be careful for people who want to move quickly with you because they're scared that, they'll lose you. But they're not ready for you. Or they're not meant for you. People will lock you down too, even though they know in their heart they're not meant for you. Or you're not meant for them. Gotta be real careful with this whole soulmate thing. There are soul contracts. There are lessons and there are teachings that you're gonna have to experience in this life that you're going to have to give. So with that, thank you for tuning in to my channel. May this message find you well and whole, and I will see you soon. Take care.